Welcome, traveler. Let the quiet streets of early morning Mexico City guide you toward rest. Tonight you slip into the well-loved denim apron of Sofia Morales, owner of a tiny coffee shop tucked beside the flowering trees of La Condesa. A lavender dawn haze settles over the neighborhood. Dew glints on wrought iron balconies. A lone bicycle bell rings down the block and fades. You stand before the shop's roll-up door and breathe in deeply. The air is cool, carrying a blend of damp stone and yesterday's espresso. As you exhale, your shoulders soften, neck muscles loosening. Keys jingle in your palm. 3 brass teeth worn shiny at the tips. With a smooth pull, the door rises. Sheets of metal slide upward, revealing the cozy room inside. Painted cement tiles feel cool beneath your soles. Warm bulbs flicker on, bathing wooden shelves lined with clay mugs and glass jars marked Chiapas and Nayarit. Single origin beans waiting for the grinder. Before anything else, you reach for those beans. You scoop a handful of pale green coffee cherries, raise them to your nose and breathe in. Notes of dark chocolate and bright citrus bloom. As you exhale, imagine the aroma settling through your chest, relaxing ribs, spine, and hips. Beans rattle into the hopper, soft, cascading clicks. You press the burr grinder's switch. A gentle whir vibrates the countertop as the first grounds tumble like warm sand. You tap smoothly, shoulders level, wrists aligned. Steam wand hisses while the espresso machine wakes. Tiny droplets purl on polished steel. On the back burner, you fill a clay pot with filtered water, a cone of raw cane sugar, and a stick of cinnamon. The gas flame ignites with a quiet whoosh, warmth brushing your cheeks. Picture that warmth rolling across collarbones, down arms to fingertips. Outside, pigeons coo. A street musician tests 2 soft trumpet notes, then falls silent. You pull the first espresso shot. Dark liquid curls into a demitasse, caramel creamer spreading like sunrise over a lake. You lift the cup, inhale again, and as you exhale, feel your jaw unclench, eyelids heavier by a shade. You wipe the marble counter with a damp cloth, citrus soap scent rising, and arrange sweet rolls from the morning delivery on a wooden board. The cinnamon sugar pot begins to simmer. Sweet steam spirals upward. Each breath invites your chest to broaden, then settle softly back. At the window, you push open the frame and let the cool air mingle with rising coffee aromas. Purple petals drift across the threshold, spinning lazily onto the sill. You sweep a few inside, letting them rest on the breadboard like tiny decorations no pastry chef could design. A soft rustle announces your first visitor, a neighbor walking a sleepy golden retriever. You greet her with a nod, gesture to the cinnamon-sweet coffee now bubbling gently. She steps inside. The dog's nails click lightly on tile, a delicate percussion that slows time even further. You pour the spiced brew into a clay mug. As the scent rises to meet her, she closes her eyes, shoulders dropping in mirrored relaxation. The dog settles near the doorway and sighs. Coins clink, gratitude murmurs. The door chimes as she leaves. You watch them stroll down the still-shadowed street, steam curling from her cup. Another breath moves through you, slow, grounded, steady. In this pre-dawn hush, every ritual feels amplified. The hush hiss of steaming milk, the soft thud of tamped grounds, the rustle of pastry paper. With each motion, you invite the listener to release another thread of tension. fingers unfurl, brow smooths. First light slips between branches outside, casting violet speckles across the floor. Hands wrapped around your own mug, you feel the gentle warmth bleed into your palms and know the day will unfold at its own calm pace. One carefully brewed cup, one steady breath at a time. Sunlight brightens from lavender to pale gold, slipping through the front window in diagonal beams. The first beam lands on stacked pastries, melting sugar into tiny, glistening lakes. Inside, you feel the soft rise of warmth against your forearms as the espresso machine reaches full pressure. A quiet click sounds when you lock the portafilter into place. A deeper hum follows as hot water meets fresh grounds, drawing out velvet brown ribbons of espresso. You inhale that darker aroma, richer now, and let it travel upward, filling lungs, widening the area beneath your collarbones. As you breathe out, sense your shoulders drift downward, arms loosening at the elbows. The street outside begins its slow crescendo. Bicycle tires hiss over damp pavement. A city bus breaks 3 storefronts away, its pneumatic sigh echoing down the block. First wave, dog walkers and early runners. A young man in a blue tracksuit enters, tapping a rhythm on the counter with restless fingertips. You tilt the milk pitcher, release steam, the wand hisses, and white foam expands like a cloud caught in a glass jar. You pour a smooth leaf pattern onto his flat white. Foam settles, swirl fully visible. The man's shoulders unclasp, rhythmic tapping stops. He thanks you softly, sips, and walks back into the growing hum outdoors. You wipe the pitcher. Notice your wrists turning more freely now. The morning momentum feels comfortable, balanced, neither hurried nor slow. Next, 2 cyclists lean bikes outside and step in, helmets tucked under their arms. They request cold brew. You pull a chilled carafe from the cooler. Condensation fogs the glass, gathering into droplets that slide and merge with effortless calm. The sound as cold brew splashes into tall glasses is a gentle echo of rainfall. You invite the cyclists to breathe in its chocolate and berry fragrance. They close their eyes, smiling as the aroma drifts upward. You notice it too, and on your own exhale, your upper back softens against the tug of muscles that held yesterday's weight. A cash drawer chime. Rings, bright metallic, gone in an instant. Paper currency rustles, coins scatter into the till like small silver petals. You trace each coin's arc with your eyes, lids dipping half closed, and feel chest muscles relax another notch. The pace lifts again. Office workers enter in pairs, swapping jokes that dissolve into polite laughter. You start a steady rhythm. Grind, tamp, pull, steam, pour. Each action follows the last as naturally as breathing. Between drinks, you gently rest fingertips against the oak counter, grounding yourself. A tall woman in a grey coat orders a spiced brew, curious about the cinnamon and sugar simmering on the back burner. As you ladle liquid into a clay mug, the steam blooms, carrying a note of warm wood and citrus rind. You suggest she inhale deeply before the first sip. She obeys, closing eyes, shoulders descending visibly. You mirror the breath, letting your own abdomen soften. Outside, the street musician returns, trading trumpet for a small button accordion. Soft chords ripple through the open window, slow, wistful, almost like the distant hum of a lullaby. The melody folds into the shop, mingling with grinder burr and milk hiss, creating a layered hush that vibrates through floor tiles into arches of your feet. A brief lull appears, perhaps the calm between early risers and mid-morning browsers. You take the pause to rest both palms on the warm espresso machine. Heat radiates into your hands, traveling along forearms to elbows, loosening tendons that flex through countless tamped shots. Eyes half closed, you breathe. The scent of cocoa-rich grounds rides each inhale. Then, another small surge. 2 high school students in crisp uniforms approach the counter, slightly shy. One clutches a colorful loyalty card. They order sweet rolls and drip coffee to share. You slice the pastries, edges crackling, melted glaze glistens, while the drip tower releases steady droplets into a glass carafe. You invite the students to notice the gentle tap, 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 like slow rain on a wide leaf. They smile, lean closer, pupils reflecting the moving drops. As customers ebb once more, sunlight tilts higher, shafts shifting across patterned tiles, turning lilac petals near the window into spots of glowing violet. You step to the grinder again, weigh beans from a jar labeled Oaxaca. Before pouring, you lift the scoop beneath your nose. A lighter fragrance, the impression of roasted almond and raw honey, floats up. You breathe it in. Upper ribs broaden like wings unfurling, sternum lifting easily. You reset the scale, watching numbers climb. Even digital digits scroll with an unhurried pace. Groundspill, temp, leverpool. Espresso flows in perfect, quiet arcs. Foam follows, spoons slowly, forming latte art that resembles a tiny hummingbird. An homage to the shop's name. You allow yourself a subtle nod of satisfaction. Fine control matched to fine calm. In the doorway, traffic hum now blends with sparrow chatter. A small parade of scented breezes drifts inward. A bakery's fresh dough, distant exhaust of an early delivery truck, faint perfume of blooming orange trees on the next street. Each scent passes through the shop and continues on its invisible way, yet leaves a tiny echo inside. The sort of echo that gentles the pulse. As the morning wave recedes and stools fall briefly empty, you clean the portafilter, wipe stray grounds into a neat circle and straighten stacks of clay mugs. Every gesture lands softly, like placing feathers on cotton. You breathe in once more, now noting that your lower back feels light, wrists loose, jaw slack. Above the counter, a single beam of sunlight lifts motes of coffee dust into delicate spirals. They drift, slow motion, fireflies, before disappearing into golden air. The morning flow has carried dozens of cups from counter to customer, but inside you there is only steadiness, an unbroken line of breath, aroma, warmth, and release. The day is ready to slide gently into its quieter stretch, and you glide with it, one calm motion at a time. The steady hum of grinders and voices fades as the street outside settles into its midday rhythm. Traffic muffled, conversation pockets drifting past like low clouds. You wipe a final ring of milk from the counter, then pause, palms flat on cool marble. Your upper arms release a subtle buzz of effort. A fresh breath rises from abdomen to throat, effortless as steam curling from the spout of a quiet kettle. A knock sounds, 2 gentle taps you recognize as the florist's. You slide open the side door and she steps in, arms cradling a bundle of marigolds and white Ulster Maria wrapped in brown paper. Raindrops speckle the flowers. Tiny beads cling to orange petals like morning dew. She hands the bouquet to you, and as you raise it to your face, warm, earthy notes of fresh stems mingle with faint citrus from earlier soak. You breathe in slowly, and with the exhale, muscles between your shoulder blades soften. You thank her. She nods toward the sky, warning of coming drizzle, then slips back into the street under a broad umbrella patterned with tiny coffee cups. You trim the marigold stems, each snip a soft click that echoes like distant castanets, and place the flowers into a glazed jug near the front window. Their scent combines with roasted almond sweetness from a nearby grinder jar, creating an unexpected harmony: earth and nut, blossom and bean. Shelves need restocking. You lift burlap sacks of fresh beans, each labeled by farm and elevation, and pour them into glass canisters. As beans tumble, they whisper against the glass, a sound like gentle rain on a tin roof. You invite the listener to picture each bean as a tiny weight rolling off their own shoulders. As the jar fills, tension drains. With a soft metal lid click, the weight is contained, the shoulders lighter. From behind the counter, you notice light outside shifting from bright gold to muted silver. Rain begins, first a scattered patter, then a steady hush. You roll out the awning. Its canvas unfurls with a lazy flutter, rain tapping softly above. A delicate change in air follows. A mineral scent, cool and clean, wafts through the doorway. You draw that new scent deep into lungs, holding it 2 heartbeats before releasing every small residue of effort on the exhale. A pair of visitors with umbrellas closed like tall flowers enter. Travelers eager for the lunchtime latte art session advertise on the chalkboard. You greet them, lead them to the counter, and place 2 steaming pitchers of milk beside the gleaming espresso machine. The rain brightens every indoor sound. Spoon-tapping pitcher, soft slosh of warming milk, drip of water on umbrellas left in the stand. You grind a fresh dose of Chiapas beans, the burr's low purr nearly swallowed by rain. As the visitors watch, you pull an espresso shot, dark stream pooling into a wide ceramic cup, crema swirling like gentle currents. You invite them to breathe in the aroma, then lead them in a slow exhale, letting shoulders sink. They echo your movement. The atmosphere settles deeper. Milk steams, a creamy cloud forms. You swirl, tap, and pour, coaxing a flow of white into brown until a symmetrical heart blooms on the surface. You hand the cup to the first visitor, who cradles it like something living. Another breath shed, and you guide them through the steps. Tilt, pour, raise, drop. Each motion becomes slower, quieter. Even mispours feel like soft brush strokes on water. Hearts and leaves form, imperfect yet lovely. Laughter bubbles up, low and easy, carried by rain. When the workshop ends, you rinse pitchers, and the visitors linger beneath the awning, sipping their own creations while rain hums overhead. They wave goodbye, umbrellas reopening to join the misty street. The chime above the door stills. The shop returns to a hush, so gentle you can hear single drops, trailing from the awning edge into puddles outside. You claim a brief pause. A single concha sits warm on the tray. You break its sugared shell with delicate pressure. Crumbs tumble onto napkin. The scent of vanilla and butter rises. You bring the bread close, inhale sweet warmth, and as you chew the first bite, jaw movements are slow, deliberate. Each chew matched to the patter of rain, each swallow releasing small pockets of lingering tension in throat and chest. Behind the counter, the slow drip tower continues its measured work. glass drops descending one by one into a waiting flask. The rhythmic drip invites your breathing to mirror it. Inhale as a drop forms, exhale as it falls. With every cycle, your inner tempo eases even further. Afternoon light dims, lamps cast soft circles on tabletops. You stamp loyalty cards with a tiny hummingbird symbol, paper yielding beneath stamp, a reassuring tactile note. Customers arrive singly. A student with headphones orders decaf. An architect sketches window frames while waiting for a pour-over. Their quiet presence turns the shop into a shared library of calm. When the rain eases to drizzle, you open the window again. A cool draft glides across your arms, carrying faint scents of wet stone and distant orange peel from a street vendor's cart. You feel that breeze slide over skin and imagine it sweeping away any last grains of fatigue lingering in elbows, wrists, fingertips. Afternoon settles into near stillness. Grinder silent, milk wand resting, only the whisper of turning pages at the architect's table. You light a small candle near the flowers. Its flame leans in gentle agreement with the outside breeze, casting slow-moving shadows across the counter. Watching those shadows waltz, you breathe in, hold, and let go, each breath softer than the one before. The day will soon curve toward evening, but now time rests, and so do you, buoyed by the tender music of raindrops drying, the distant murmur of city streets, and the comforting hum of coffee cooling in earthen mugs. Late afternoon light deepens from silver to warm amber, painting long rectangles across the cafe floor. Outside, drizzle has stopped. Small puddles mirror rust-worn orange rooftops and drifting lilac petals. You feel the day pivot. Energy tilts from outward bustle to an inward hush. With a slow breath in, shoulders rise. As breath releases, shoulders drop, signaling the body that evening calm has arrived. A bell tinkles softly. 2 college students slip inside, notebooks under arms. They order half-caff lattes and settle at the bar. While the shots pour, you invite them to breathe in the mellow roast aroma. They close their eyes for a heartbeat, and you take the cue to match your own inhale to theirs, letting the roasted almond scent settle through ribs and solar plexus. Foam lands in their cups like quiet snowfall. Pencils soon scratch gentle circles on notebook pages, accompanied by the hush of page turns. LED street lamps flicker on. Their pale glow filters through the front window, casting filigree shadows from the ironwork. You dim the overhead bulbs inside. Softer pools of light make tile patterns look like watercolor. Your eyelids drift half closed. Vision soft focus, yet movement stays steady. Wipe counters, align mugs, polish steam wand tip until it shines like a silver crescent. A mother and young child enter, hand in hand. The boy presses his nose to the pastry case, pointing to the final sugar-crusted roll. You warm it carefully. Caramelized sugar releases a faint whisper of vanilla. As you carry the plate over, the boy pulls in a long sniff. Eyes widen, shoulders drop, small body releasing day school energy. Watching him inhale, you mirror the motion once more, letting jaw and temples soften. The lull arrives, those cherished minutes when the outside hum recedes to a distant hush. You turn the music dial to low, letting a slow guitar instrumental drift, just loud enough to notice when you choose, easy to ignore when you don't. The melody's gentle plucking mirrors your breath. Inhale during one measure, exhale over the next. Each breath seems to skim tension off skin, like foam skimmed from heated milk. Now the closing rituals begin. You rinse the drip tower, glass clinking softly against stainless sink. Water spirals down the drain. With that spiral, you imagine any lingering tightness swirling away. You slide the empty vessel onto a drying rack. The sound of glass tapping wood, like two soft taps of a metronome, steadying thought. Outside, the scent of grilled corn drifts from a sidewalk vendor's cart. Its smoky, sweet note slips through the doorway. You draw it in, feel it settle low in your abdomen, a warm ember of comfort. A solitary crow calls from a distant telephone line. Its single note echoes the day's simplicity, one clear sound hanging in air before falling into silence. You switch the espresso machine to stand by. The hiss subsides to a gentle sigh. Heat plates cool gradually, radiating warmth like a receding sunset. You rest palms on the machine's metal top, warm but not hot, letting that residual heat pulse into wrists, up forearms, loosening the last strands of muscle. As warmth fades, any remaining tension fades with it. Stools go upside down on tables with a muted scrape of wood on tile. You lift each stool mindfully, upper arms extending, then lowering, matching breath to motion. Inhale with lift, exhale on lowering. Cleaning cloth glides in circles, citrus scent rising as you clear tabletops. Each circle grows wider, and within your chest, the sensation mirrors that widening. A ring of ease spreading outward until shoulders and upper back feel spacious. Lights dim further. Only the pendant bulb over the counter remains, its amber glow coating shelves in honey light. You click the cash drawer open, count bills slowly, fingers brushing textured paper. With every bill stacked, breath flows slower. Coins chime into a cloth pouch. Soft metallic rainfall that marks the day's final exchange. The register closes with a soft thud. You lock the drawer, place key inside satchel, and wipe the counter one final time. Candle near the marigolds is snuffed. Pinched wick releases a ribbon of faint smoke. You watch that thin plume curl upward, lighter and lighter until it vanishes. As it disappears, tension between the eyes lifts too, leaving the forehead smooth. You switch the music off. A hush settles, like a quilt over the room. Only rain drips somewhere distant. A leftover drop releasing from the awning edge, tapping the windowsill. One small satisfying beat. You roll down the metal door halfway, leaving just enough space to step outside and lock. The groan of metal rails is softened by thick air. It sounds like a slow cello slide, low and calming. Stepping onto the street, you breathe night air, cool, faint echo of wet stone and distant pepper sauce sizzling on a grill. Neon signs farther down the block buzz softly. You sling your satchel across one shoulder and begin the short walk home. Shoes brush pavement with even cadence. Each footfall reminds calf muscles to soften, then quadriceps, then hips. The neighborhood has shifted to its nighttime palette. Street lamps cast pools of amber, and shop windows glow like small aquariums of human warmth. A soft burst of laughter leaks from a tapas bar. Bicycle pedals whir past, chain jingling. You allow those sounds to pass through without catching. Background notes in a lullaby. Turning onto a side street, you pass a quiet bookstore. Through its dark window you glimpse books lined like sleeping starlings. Their stillness steadies your own pulse. A few steps later, your apartment building appears. A 3-story facade, draped in vines still damp from rain. You unlock the door with a gentle click. Glide upstairs, whose wooden boards remember your tread, and greet each step with a low creak. Inside, the apartment holds the day's residual warmth, carrying faint scents of ground coffee and beeswax polish. You switch on a single lamp, its soft circle spreading across hardwood. Shoes slide off, feet meet the cool floor, and ankles soak in newfound freedom. Satchel rests on a small table, zipper releasing a sigh. You unroll your shoulders, feeling blades glide smoothly under skin. In the kitchenette, you warm milk in a ceramic cup. The microwave's quiet hum underlines the silence like a bass note. When the timer beeps, you stir a spoonful of honey into the milk. Tiny swirl, metallic tinkle. You bring the cup near your face. Steam rises, carrying warm vanilla notes that slide into nasal passages and persuade eyelids to lower. You sip, swallow, and with each swallow, throat muscles release. Chest feels hollowed out in the most comforting way. You cross to the bedroom, dim lamp in hand, shadows shifting gently on walls. The bed is already turned down. Sheets invite like cool river water compared to warm milk inside you. You place the lamp on the bedside shelf, switch it off, and the room settles into darkness tinged by soft city glow filtering through curtains. Lying down, covers pulled to chin, you sense mattress foam accept weight, molding gently around shoulders, hips, heels. Breath falls into shallow waves. Inhale brushes the back of the throat. Exhale drifts down like a leaf onto calm water. Outside, a single car passes in slow motion. Tires brushing wet asphalt. A soft shh that could be ocean surf in miniature. Images of the cafe float behind closed eyes. Beams of golden light on patterned tiles, steam blooming from cups, marigold petals glowing like tiny suns. Each image drifts farther, softened at the edges until it dissolves like sugar in warm milk. A hush folds over thoughts. You notice the gentle rise of your abdomen beneath blanket, the easy fall. Somewhere deep in the mind, door locks slide shut. One for grinders, one for cash drawer, one for metal roll-up. Each click echoing in a hall of ever-increasing silence. Last is the click that dims the espresso machine, its internal warmth easing into rest. In this quiet, your body recreates the shop's early aroma. Chocolate citrus beans, cinnamon, vanilla roll. Scents swirl once, then settle in slow-moving spirals, guiding muscles to soften further, heartbeat to slow, breath to float. Eventually, even those aromas fade, leaving only a spacious, gentle dark. You drift, buoyed by the memory of each cup served, each petal swept from the windowsill, each quiet thank you spoken like a shared secret. Outside, jacaranda branches sway, scattering late blossoms onto empty sidewalks. A distant hummingbird, mascot of the shop, beats invisible wings somewhere in night's garden, its motion so fast it sounds like silence. And in that expanding hush you let go, surrendering to deep, unbroken sleep, certain that when dawn's lavender returns, you, quiet coffee maker and guardian of small comforts, will rise again, ready to unlock the door, breathe the first roast aroma, and guide a new day's rhythm, one gentle breath at a time.